Hello, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we uncover the death of Alexander the Great, just a 32-year-old ruler and a warrior who never had the chance to rule his empire the way he wanted to before his short death. So without going much further, let's quickly dive straight to it. He had conquered the world, but death conquered him. At just 32 years old, the undefeated warrior, the King of Kings, met an untimely and mysterious end. But was it natural, or was it murder? Did his own men turn against him, slipping poison into his cup? Or was it an unseen enemy, an illness, striking him down at the peak of his glory? More than 2,000 years later, the cause of his death remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in history. This is the death of Alexander the Great. It is June 323 BC. The city of Babylon, the beating heart of Alexander's vast empire, is alive with celebration. The greatest conqueror in history has returned from his campaigns in India, victorious once again. He has ruled over lands stretching from Greece to Egypt, from Persia to the edges of the known world. But despite his power, something is off. Alexander is restless. The world is his, yet he craves more. His next plan? A campaign to conquer Arabia and extend his empire even further. But before he embarks on this journey, he does something unusual. He organizes a series of feasts and banquets, inviting his closest friends and generals. Historians say this was unlike him. Alexander had been more focused on military strategy than endless celebrations. Did he sense something coming? Or was this all part of his careful planning before another war? On the night of June 1st, Alexander attends a feast at the palace of Nebuchadnezzar II. His officers, friends, and the royal court drink and celebrate. Laughter fills the air. Wine flows freely, but as Alexander raises his cup to drink, he suddenly feels a sharp pain in his stomach. At first, it seems minor. He brushes it off, but soon, the pain intensifies. His head begins to ache. His body burns with fever. Something is very, very wrong. Hours turn into days. His condition worsens. His generals gather around him. They are used to seeing their king as a god among men, unstoppable, untouchable. But now, he is weak, barely able to move. The warrior who once charged into battle leading his men is now confined to his bed. The palace falls into silence. Alexander's body is burning with fever. His speech slurs. Soon, he loses the ability to move, and then he can no longer speak. His men whisper among themselves. The invincible Alexander is dying. But why? One of the most chilling theories is that Alexander was poisoned. If true, this would mean that someone close to him, someone he trusted, betrayed him. But who? And why? Some historians point to a man named Antipater, one of Alexander's most powerful generals. Antipater had been left in charge of Macedon while Alexander was away, but their relationship had soured. Alexander had accused Antipater of disloyalty, and there were rumors that he planned to remove him from power. Could Antipater have feared for his life and decided to strike first? Then there's Iolaus, Antipater's own son, who was Alexander's cupbearer, the man who served him his wine. Was it possible that Iolaus poisoned his drink on his father's orders? But there's a problem. If Alexander was poisoned, why did it take him nearly 2 weeks to die? Most poisons of the time worked quickly, unless it was a rare, slow-acting poison, one that mimicked disease and left no trace. Some believe that a deadly plant known as white hellebore could have been used, a poison that causes severe stomach pain, vomiting, and a slow, agonizing death. Could this have been the weapon that killed history's greatest conqueror? Or was it something even more sinister? Many historians argue that Alexander's symptoms don't match poisoning at all. His fever, abdominal pain, and paralysis sound more like a deadly disease. But which one? Some experts suggest malaria, a disease spread by mosquitoes, something common in the swampy lands of Babylon. Others believe it could have been typhoid fever, which spreads through contaminated food and water. This disease could explain Alexander's slow decline, as well as the intense stomach pain he suffered. But there's another theory, one even more mysterious. Some researchers believe that Alexander may have contracted West Nile virus, a rare but deadly disease that can cause high fever and paralysis. Ancient sources say that before his death, Alexander was unable to move his body. This could be a sign of something called ascending paralysis, a condition where a person slowly loses movement from the legs upward until eventually, even their lungs stop working. Could it be that Alexander, the most powerful man in the world, was brought down not by an enemy, but by an invisible killer? Here's where the mystery gets even stranger. Ancient sources claim that for 6 days after his death, Alexander's body did not decompose. His skin remained perfect. No decay, no signs of death. To his followers, this was proof that he was not just a man, but a god. But modern scientists have a different idea. What if Alexander wasn't actually dead? There's a rare medical condition called Guillain-Barré syndrome, which can cause full-body paralysis while a person is still alive. If Alexander had this disorder, he may have been trapped inside his own body, unable to move, unable to speak, unable to show any signs of life. His men may have thought he was dead and buried him alive. If this is true, then Alexander's final moments were more terrifying than anyone could have imagined. After Alexander's death, chaos erupted. He had left no clear heir. His generals, men who had fought alongside him, began fighting each other for control. His empire, built through years of conquest, collapsed into civil war. His body, once placed in a golden sarcophagus, was taken to Egypt. But at some point it disappeared. Some say it was stolen. Others believe it was hidden, lost forever. To this day, the tomb of Alexander the Great has never been found. His empire may have fallen. His body may be lost. But his legend remains. So was Alexander murdered? Was he poisoned by his own men, betrayed at the height of his power? Or was he the victim of an unseen killer, disease, a deadly virus, or perhaps a tragic medical mistake? More than 2,000 years later, we may never know the truth. But one thing is certain. The death of Alexander the Great remains one of history's greatest mysteries. What do you think? Was Alexander poisoned? Or was it a natural death? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more ancient mysteries.